If you're overlooking smaller or local contracts, you're missing some of the easiest wins in the market. Agencies aren't just buying large infrastructure, they're funding community programs, education systems, and operational support right now. And most vendors ignore these opportunities because they don't recognize the value. Welcome to This Week in Procurement, your weekly outlook on state, local, and education government contracting. I am your host, Abby Souffrant. Let's get into the top 5 opportunities you should be looking at right now. First up, out of the state of Connecticut, we have a youth development and out-of-school time services. If you think this is just an after-school programming, you'll actually miss the entire contract. This is community infrastructure. You are delivering after-school programming, summer camp operations, and ongoing youth engagement. Best fit for nonprofits or education vendors with youth-structured programming experience. The win for these types of opportunities are that agencies want consistency, safety, and measurable youth impact, not just supervision. The signal is that youth engagement is being funded as a core community investment. Next up, out of the state of New Jersey, we have an aftercare school program service. If you don't have systems, you won't scale. This is operations plus technology. This includes district-wide aftercare, homework support, enrichment, and real-time parent communication platforms. Best fit for operators with school experience, as well as parent-facing technology. Your win? Your ability to manage logistics, billing, and communication at scale. The signal? Education services are becoming system-driven, no longer manual. Next, our next contract is out of the state of Arkansas for school supplies. This is simple, but speed wins here. Commodity procurement, glue sticks, markers, scissors, and classroom materials. Best fit for distributors already moving volume. The win? You have to be fast, compliant submission, and reliable towards fulfillment. The signal is low barrier. Contracts are still one of the fastest entry points into government work. This contract is due on May 15th. And if you are inside the Under Contract Academy, I'll tell you one great gem related to education contracts that are related to supplies specifically. Next, out of the state of Oregon, the contract we're talking about is Early Childhood Education Coordinator. This is specialized and cultural competency matters. You're supporting literacy development, language integration, and coordinating directly with educators. An awesome fit for early childhood specialists or firms with Indigenous language experience. The win? Demonstrated cultural alignment and hands-on coordination experience. The signal? Agencies are prioritizing culturally responsive education models. Last, out of the state of Wyoming, we have a special education leadership development contract. This is not training, it is leadership transformation. So you are facilitating communities of practice, data institutes, and ongoing professional development for directors. Best fit for consultancies with special education and leadership development expertise. Your win for this contract is your ability to connect strategy to real-world implementation. The signal is that agencies are investing in leadership capacity at the system level. Our tip of the week: if you're pitching programs or services, you're blending in. Agencies are funding outcomes. stronger communities, better student support, more effective leadership. So position yourself like this. What changes because you show up? Who benefits and how do you prove it? Winning vendors bring clear impact, structured delivery, and reporting that shows real results. Now that's how you move from provider to partner. Now let's take a look at our big map. This week we had 31,294 new opportunities that hit the market. That tells us one thing. Agencies are buying across entry level, not just large scale infrastructure. Particularly, here's what stands out. Specialized services are leading the market more than software and IT alone. That means agencies are solving real on-the-ground problems with targeted solutions. This is a high-volume, high-speed market, and vendors who can respond quickly have the advantage. You have to remember, we are currently in our use it or lose it season, so budgets have to be allocated in so many days. Let's head over to the East Coast. The East Coast is blending modernization with community-level execution. New York is leading in specialized services, agencies solving specific localized challenges, while New Jersey is scaling education systems, as well as DC is continuing to push digital and operational upgrades. What's happening in this region is balancing between big systems with on-the-ground delivery, as well as smaller infrastructure systems that help in communities and education. How you win is a combined structure with flexibility. Agencies want solutions that work in real environments, not just in theory. Heading over to the South is building both physical and community infrastructure. Of course, Texas leads in software and IT, while Florida and Virginia show strong activity in public services and engagement. What's happening particularly in this region is that they are investing in both backbone systems and community-facing programs. Now, how you win? You have to show how your work connects to infrastructure to real user outcomes. In the Midwest, they are pretty steady, but they're very intentional. You're seeing investment in education materials, municipal services, and software systems. What's happening is that the agencies are modernizing without disruption. How you win? They're looking for reliability. Reliability matters greatly here. Vendors who deliver consistently outperform those who overpromise. And here's the edge. If you understand both urban and rural needs, you become significantly more competitive. And last, heading over to the West Coast. The West Coast is moving fast on specialized consulting and infrastructure security. California continues to dominate with complex design and engineering needs, while Washington focuses on security and surveillance systems. What's happening in this area, there are agencies that are solving high complexity problems with expert vendors. So in order to win in this region, you need a depth of expertise that matters more than breadth. Specialists win in this region. Now let's head over to our Dear Abby segment. Dear Abby, how can I source contracts without being overwhelmed? That is an awesome question, and that's a question that I receive all the time. Because unlike federal, SLED has many portals that you can be registered in, and getting all those emails and notifications can absolutely be overwhelming. So what I will say is you want to identify 3 to 5 agencies that you want to work with. You want to make sure in your registration that you are selecting the right NAICS code or commodity code to the exact work that your firm does. What these agencies in these portals do is they send those contracts that match perfectly or almost perfectly directly to your inbox. Now in your inbox, you want to make sure that you structure it a way where maybe those contracts that come in go into a particular folder. That way they are not overwhelming your everyday inbox. Trust me, I know, I have been there. And so when you structure your portal in that way, when you register and you have your right codes, it sends you what is aligned. That way you save yourself time from looking through hundreds or even thousands, if you're like me, of opportunities and not wasting your time. So there is a high chance, a high probability that there are contracts that are in that particular folder because you set up your profile correctly. And from the list of 2 to 3 or 20 to 30, you have a concise, hand-picked almost, view of opportunities that are in your inbox. And then from there, you filter from there. If you want access to our hand-picked contracts, especially now in our education segment, join us in our Under Contract Academy. Now for our Q1 2026 quarterly report, click the link below. It's finally ready. Now that's it for this week in procurement. Remember, opportunities are everywhere, but the right positioning is what gets you paid. I'm Abby Souffrant, and I'll see you next week.